Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters of the week. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for your time and patience when it comes to the videos here on my channel. It's now been almost 2 weeks since I last did a video here, and it's all because of that giant ice storm that hit the Central Texas area about maybe a week and a half or so ago. And then also with that impact and everything else that happened afterward with the electricity and the water being shut off. Well, I'm finally back and I'm able to do my videos here. I might do actually a podcast or some other type of video podcast soon detailing everything that occurred during that very, very tumultuous week. So be on the lookout for that. But in any case, I wanted to treat everyone with a brand new Cryptids and Monsters video. I know you've been looking for that for a while. This one has to do with a creature that's apparently found there in the Philippines. I could have sworn that I've done this one before. I'm having another Mandela effect moment where I thought I surely had done this, but no, anything as far as this item, I looked everywhere, my 1,000+ videos, but I couldn't find it. But I did find this. Maybe I had mixed up with this other item called the Beast of Den. I'll include the link for it below. They kind of have some similarities, but otherwise they're still different animals altogether. Here, though, I'm going to talk about this. You're looking at a picture of it now. It's pretty much known as one single name as the Caffrey. So let's go ahead and let's talk about all the fascinating but limited information associated with this very, very mysterious creature. So again, I was having that Mandela effect moment thinking I could have sworn I touched upon this video, but ultimately I realized that no, it was that Beast of Den, and that's because of this. Both creatures actually resemble a very, very large wild boar. Again, check out the link below when you have a chance to see the other video first, but this one, as far as this, you'll see some similarities here. So first off, this is a creature that's found there in the Philippines. So someone that lives there in the Philippines now, you might have some upfront experience or rumors or the type of legends tied to this creature, and if so, then please post those comments below. As always, share that experience with us. But here's how it goes. Apparently, it's a giant wild boar that goes around there in the Philippines, presumably, I'm guessing there in the forests. I didn't read any information as far as, let's say, it being in downtown areas or anything like that. Now, most likely it's just going to be in a hidden area. But besides walking on all fours, as a traditional boar would be, the big difference is this: it can actually walk upright. So in other words, it walks on its hind legs, just like you and I do, just like some very limited other animals do, like very, very brief period. Like I've seen like apes and monkeys that can do it for a short time period. This creature is apparently very comfortable in being able to walk upright, and it does so frequently. In fact, the natives there in Philippines have seen this creature do this, and it seems like it does it just on its own. Like, in other words, there's no type of dangerous situation that causes it to rear up on its hind legs. You know how some animals do that to create a larger presence? No, this pretty much seems to be its own creature that does this type of thing. It is also known to be very, very ferocious. This is a creature that is absolutely something that marks its territory, guards its territory, probably is on the hunt too for other type of things like either animals or other creatures around there, and that's because it uses its very, very large tusks that's found on it to be able to hunt and then capture and then kill these creatures too. Boars already, if you find one in the wild, they are very, very dangerous creatures. I mean, they have absolutely just a huge fight program associated with them. I mean, anything that comes across their territory, they are absolutely just going crazy on whatever does that. So imagine something like that, but much larger and with much larger tusks, and again, the ability to walk upright, which would give it some kind of advantage as far as maybe sneaking into other areas that normally animals on all fours wouldn't. And here's what you have this Caffrey, and then here's where things take yet another twisted turn, and this almost seems to indicate its form of intelligence. It can actually speak some of the local languages there within the Philippines. That's right. It actually does that. And so apparently the natives there state that they've heard this creature speak such languages, and it gives just a little bit of intelligence to it. Maybe it's almost even mimicking as far as other things, other languages that it hears to. You know how the parrot and other type of birds will mimic what we say in some cases. Maybe that's what it's doing here, but at least the natives also seem to think that it uses its intelligence to pick up languages and then talk amongst its own on there. How about that? Imagine hearing something like this, grunting and then speaking that type of language out there in the forest. It would definitely make an unsettling sight, especially if you see it from afar, walking upright and then being able to do that type of language on there. But yeah, if you're out there in the Philippines and again in those foresty areas, you just have to be careful, because anything involving its pursuit, anything involving its territory, it'll definitely follow you and try to capture you. I think there's some indication again that it could be deadly, but I didn't read anything as far as, let's say, people outright stating that they've known victims associated with this Caffrey, but still ultimately a very, very dangerous creature. There is one positive note though tied to this creature, and that's this: if it's on the hunt, and let's say it's specifically hunting you, you can actually trick it into losing track of you. I imagine you could do something like this, kind of like something that you've seen in the movies before. You know how where sometimes people are following other people or animals, and then they have tracks that they're following. So maybe your footprint or maybe your shoe will leave these tracks. So I would imagine that all you would have to do is just pretty much just cover your tracks. So as you're walking along, make sure that everything else is dusted behind you, moved in other words, so that way the tracks that you just left are no longer there, or try to find some place that you would lose those tracks, and then that's where this Caffrey in turn would get lost. Maybe it just doesn't put that kind of effort afterward, and so it just leaves you alone. But either way, that's one way. I was surprised about reading that too, because boars and other types of large pigs, they are known for their phenomenal smell. Like they are able to pick up very, very large sense and small sense of smell and then track things for a long time period. So the fact that this thing would have a giant nose of its own and still lose any type of prey, any type of humans that it's hunting, amazingly, that makes it seem like it's contradictory. But yeah, apparently it's pretty easy to do so. Just be able to do that and then you're good. Imagine another trick you can do is just basically if you find an area to climb up trees and let's say move from one tree to another, well, guess what? All of a sudden you no longer have any tracks that this creature is following you, or whatever else you can do to do so. Maybe try throwing stones somewhere, causing it to be confused by hearing sounds in another location, that kind of stuff on there. But in any case, that's pretty much it. That's all the information associated with this mysterious creature found there in the Philippines. It's so mysterious I couldn't even find any info as to how long it's been there. Presumably, considering the natives talk about it so much, you imagine that this is something that's part of their culture for quite a while, that has probably been there for hundreds of years. Just another creature, just like most other cryptids out there, that's just passed along generation to generation. But again, if anybody has any info there in the Philippines specifically, maybe someone there that happens to live there or knows family members or others that are more familiar with this Caffrey, then please post those comments below. And maybe if there's any more information about I missed, then please do so as well. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.